Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Peninsula Symphony Orchestra All-Stars at Home. As some of you probably know, there are some extraordinary, in fact, quite a few extraordinary young musicians in the Bay Area who've achieved local but also national recognition. And we're pleased that throughout the pandemic, the Peninsula Symphony's education and outreach has continued unabated, although mostly virtual, and that includes two marvelous competitions that the Peninsula Symphony runs every year, the Mindell Piano Competition and the Young Musicians Competition. And we have three of the winners, extraordinary virtuosos, all three of them with us today. And we're very proud and pleased to welcome them. So, pianist Ben Huang, welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Violinist AJ Malia, welcome. We're delighted you're here.
Thank you.
And pianist Ryan Shang, glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Both pianists, Ben and Ryan, are winners of the Maryland Mindell competition, which has been going on for a decade and a half now, and salutes wonderful piano teacher and person of great importance in the musical community on the peninsula, Marilyn Mindell. And that is a just wonderful event with an extraordinary number of outstanding young pianists that we get to hear every year. And the Young Musicians Competition is for orchestral instruments, so we cover quite a range with that. So Ben and Ryan have won the Mindell competition, Ryan this year and Ben last year, and AJ was the winner of the Young Musicians competition last spring. And unfortunately, none of the three of them have had a chance to do their solo appearances with the Peninsula Symphony. We'll hope to be able to make those happen at some point in the future, but now at least we get to present them to you, our wonderful audience. So let's start with Ben. Ben, first of all, how old are you right at the moment?
I'm 17.
And where are you? You are in your piano studio, but where is home?
My home is in Cupertino, California.
All three of these young musicians are South Bay, Peninsula South Bay young musicians, and in the Bay Area, this is a hotbed for extraordinary musical talent, as we'll see. Ben, you started playing at a very young age. What was your motivation for getting started at age 5?
My parents introduced me to piano.
Was there a lot of music in your family?
No, but my mom has a passion for music. So,
And you obviously inherited that.
yeah.
So did the piano really catch on for you right from the very beginning?
I think it did. Um,
And where were you when you started piano lessons?
I was in my old home in Austin, Texas.
And I've noticed that a number of the credits that you have, you played with the Austin Symphony Orchestra at age 9, and you've played with the Houston Symphony, a major orchestra. You've appeared on NPR's From the Top. You've won all kinds of competition, Arthur Fraser piano competition, Odyssead piano competition, Walgreens, Juanita Miller, lots of extraordinary competition successes. What's competition performing like for you? Do you enjoy doing that? What's that like to be involved in a competition?
A piano competition it's fun. You can meet new people, but it's also stressful when you have to perform. Um,
Any performance is stressful, but yes, you're performing amidst all of your peers. You're one of the things that I find is most interesting for young musicians in competitions is a chance to see what other young musicians like themselves are doing and sort of measure yourself against others and learn from them and have them learn from you. Have you found that to be true?
Yeah, I've learned from a lot of my piano friends.
And let's see if I remember correctly. Let's see. Remind me what you played at the Mindell competition last year.
I played the first movement of the Rachmaninoff's Third Piano Concerto.
Ah, yes, right, right. Very, very impressive performance. Um, and that happened live in person. That was one of the last things that the Peninsula Symphony was able to do. So today, Ben Huang is going to play for us the Chopin Ballade number 4. And if you're ready, let's go with that. So here is, are you ready to go, Ben?
Yes.
All right. So here is pianist, Mindell competition winner of 2020, Ben Huang, playing Chopin's Ballade number 4. That was just marvelous, Ben. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful, powerful, expressive performance. We are here. So that was Ben Huang playing Chopin Ballade number 4. We're here today with 3 Peninsula Symphony Young Musician Competition winners, the Mindell Competition and the Young Musicians Competition. AJ Malia, excuse me, Ryan Shang, and Ben Huang. So everybody unmute yourself for a second. This has been quite a strange year. How has this year been for each of the 3 of you extraordinarily accomplished young musicians? What's it been like? AJ.
For me personally, I've been doing chamber music for a long time, so it's just been really disappointing that we haven't been able to do chamber music a lot. But now we have this new technology called Jack Trip, and that's enabling us to somehow play online. So that's a great improvement.
Yeah, it's a marvelous invention, and you get to actually play music through Zoom, but you can't look so much at the Zoom, but you can play with musical partners, and it's going to be a great improvement in all our lives. Ryan, what about you? What's this year been like for you?
Well, everything's just really different. Everybody
That's
knows.
for sure.
Yeah, I've been probably not outside of the house too much, and it's probably gonna get unhealthy if I stay back anymore. But actually, there are some things that I thought that it was pretty cool because we get to stay home more, and that means there's more time to practice, really, and just a lot more time to explore things that you never really thought that you wanted to. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. Ben, what's this year been like for you? Have you practiced more or less than you would have otherwise?
For me, since a lot of competitions have been canceled, a lot of piano festivals have been canceled, I've actually not been practicing as much. I've just been working on new repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
And the year since COVID has been different. It's not as different as I think Ryan and AJ have experienced because before COVID, I was already homeschooled, so I was already home a lot. And yeah.
Yeah. By the way, do the 3 of you know each other?
Ryan and I know each other from YCM, but I have not met Ben yet.
Aha. Yes, YCM is an interesting connection. This is Young Chamber Musicians, marvelous organization in San Francisco, loosely connected with the conservatory, run by my old friend Susan Bates, and with some fabulous coaches. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I do think it's probably true that young musicians have suffered just a little bit less in the last year because you are, number one, very self-motivated. Number 2, you're very accomplished and have lots of different interests. And number 3, you're used to spending a lot of time alone in a practice room, honing your art. And so maybe it's been because you're such an extraordinary self-selected group, maybe a little less difficult for you than some of your peers. Do you think that might be true? Yeah, and it's clear to me that all 3 of you have managed, despite all of the obstacles of the last year, to thrive through this very, very hard year. So let's focus on AJ for a moment. As we just found out, you're involved in young chamber musicians, but you have lots of other interests. You're an athlete. You're a student at. And by the way, I want to mention that I remember your performance at the Young Musicians Competition, which we had to do virtually. And we had to do that with Ben's Mindell competition this year. But they were both very, very strong and excellent competitions. You played Bach, G minor sonata, and Dvorak concerto. Is that right?
Correct.
Terrific performances. And you, like Ben, have been on From the Top, the NPR national radio program featuring young musicians. What was that like?
Actually, I was selected this. I think it was this like the end of 2020, but now we can't really do it, right? Because COVID.
Ah, right, of course. All right. Well, they may be starting up again. The Irving M. Klein International String Competition that I run in San Francisco will be a site for From the Top, either this year if we're back to live or the following year. AJ has also won a number of competitions and participated in number of different orchestras as an ensemble player. I think that's a big part of your life, isn't it? And in fact, one of the most significant international and national competitions, the Fish-Off Chamber Music Competition, was a focus for you for last year. How was that, AJ?
Yeah, that was a great experience. It was really awesome to see so many other talented groups from all across the country, like New York, Chicago, everywhere. It was a lot of preparation, but I think in the end it was all worth it because it improved my skills, my chamber music skill set so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, you're also in YCM. What groups have you been in with that organization?
So I started the year with a trio, and it was a little bit complicated in the beginning to get everything together, because like all the distance and everything, and
Yeah.
we got like one rehearsal in, and then at the change of the semester, some things changed up, and then so now I'm on a duo with another cellist, and that's looking like it's gonna be pretty fun. So yeah.
Fantastic. That's great. Well, we'll get back to that in a little while. All right, let's hear AJ play. And I'll give you a moment to get yourself settled. But AJ is going to play two movements from the Bach Partita number 2 in D minor, the Sarabande and the Giga, and also some Paganini, Caprice number 5. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about these pieces, AJ?
Yeah, I think the Bach Partita is pretty standard rep. A lot of violinists play it, so you'll see it at like basically any level of competition. It's like the staples of violin rep. And then Paganini number 5. A lot of people think it's basically one of the fastest Paganini pieces, so it requires a lot of patience to finally like get it in shape.
If you can play Paganini, then you have the technique to play anything that anybody's ever written. So that's marvelous. All right, well, here we go. Here is AJ Malia, starting with Bach, the Sarabande and Giga from the Partita number 2 in D minor. AJ, go ahead. Marvelous. Thank you, A.J. Malia. Paganini Caprice number 5, and prior to that, 2 movements of the Bach Partita number 2 in D minor. Very, very impressive playing. We can see that we have some extraordinary talent here. While I have all 3 of you, tell me a little bit about what your plans are. Ben, you'll need to unmute yourself. What your plans are for the spring and for next year, starting with Ryan.
So this coming year is actually just like from the rest of 2021 is towards the end of it, I'm gonna have to start doing college applications. So I think during the rest of the year, probably just gonna have to look around for not only just music opportunities, but also for like just looking into colleges and probably exploring some new things and continuing to do music. So yeah.
So Ryan is a junior, and the other 2 are seniors. AJ, what's your next year looking like?
For college, all the college results. But I think at least for the summer, I'm looking for a couple of internships. So I've applied. I'm trying to get some job experience on my resume, before college. As for music, I'm definitely gonna, if everything opens up, then I'm definitely gonna contact some friends and maybe my old trio and try to play some new rap, sight read and stuff.
Yeah, it will be so wonderful for all of us to be able to get back and make music together with other human beings. What an experience. Ben, what's your next year looking like?
My next year is just, I guess, focusing on school. Next year I'm going to college.
Do you know where yet?
I got into Stanford, so probably going to Stanford, but I'm also waiting on results this month.
Terrific. Well, we will be very happy to have you remain in the area if that's how it turns out. Let's focus on Ryan Shang now, the only junior among this particular group. And I remember Ryan's performances at the Mindell competition because it was just a little while ago with Beethoven Sonata. and Rachmaninoff's second piano concerto. Rachmaninoff piano concertos have a history of a lot of success at the Marilyn Mindell Piano Competition run by the Peninsula Symphony. But Ryan has won all sorts of competitions: Rosario Marciano International Competition, Virginia Waring International Competition, Emory Young Artist Piano Competition, Ross McKee. And Ryan, do you also have some history in Texas?
Yeah, actually. Last summer I went down to do two festivals, the Van Cliburn Junior Festival and the Texas Piano Texas. That's what it is.
Aha. Oh, wonderful. And I gather that you performed a Mozart concerto with the Fort Worth Symphony under Maestro Miguel Harth Bedoya. What was that like?
That was fun. I think that was the first time that I played a full concerto with a full orchestra. So yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but just on stage, it was pretty fun. So.
I can imagine it would be. And that's a fine orchestra and a wonderful conductor. So, Ryan is going to be playing for us the first movement, the Largo and Allegro of the Beethoven Sonata number 17, Opus 31, number 2, known as the Tempest, and then some Liszt. Anything you'd like to tell us about either of those pieces before we start, Ryan?
Well, they're just two pretty exciting pieces. Both of them are pretty exciting. They're contrasting in their own ways because the first one is a little bit darker, the Beethoven one, and I'd say that the Liszt one is a little bit more just like fairy tale like, not fairy tale, but like more imaginative. And
Yeah, very pictorial piece. Just all kinds of bells happening all over the place. All right, here we go. Ryan Shang will be playing the Largo Allegro first movement of Beethoven Tempest Sonata, followed by Liszt La Campanella. Ryan Shang. Shang playing Liszt, La Campanella, and Beethoven, Tempest Sonata. Thanks to all three of you extraordinary young musicians. What a pleasure and what a thrill it is to see the level of accomplishment, your poise, your musicianship, all three of you, your artistry, the expressiveness with which you play. It's just very impressive and very inspiring to see the future of music in this session here. For each of you, is music your future, or is music just a part of your future? AJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm kind of at the crossroads right now, but I'm very passionate about music, so it's like a really hard decision to make. But I'm 100% sure that music will be in there somewhere, whether that be like, I mean, I have to choose between either a professional route or playing as a community orchestra, or but I'm definitely going to keep some playing solo music, and then also chamber music.
Yeah, and your chamber music experience is certainly something that is for a lifetime, regardless of anything else. There's no question all three of you could make fabulous careers as musicians. Ben, what's your inclination? Do you think you're going to be a pianist on a professional level, or are there other interests that occupy your time?
I'm planning on majoring in computer science at college, but I'm also gonna still be playing the piano.
And if you wind up at Stanford, you've got world-class opportunities on both of those levels. Ryan, you're slightly farther away from these kinds of decisions, but what's your inclination?
Yeah, since I still have a little bit of time, I haven't really like set my mind to either I'm gonna do it professionally or I'm just gonna do it as a hobby yet. But I think as for now, I think it's probably going to be at least my major. And
Yeah.
even if it's just a part of my future, it's probably going to be a pretty big part of it. So,
Well, I can tell you, as an observer of highest quality young musical talent, we're seeing three extraordinary young musical artists here. And any of you, if you wish to, can have great careers in music. And we look forward to seeing you for many, many years to come as young musical artists and as mature musical artists. So thank you all for being with us today on Peninsula Symphony All-Stars at Home. We wish you all the best, and we are so grateful to hear your absolutely brilliant and uplifting musical presentations tonight. Thanks to you all.
thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to our audience for watching tonight.
We hope you enjoyed tonight's program. Would you like to be informed whenever a new video from Peninsula Symphony is available? Please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button below. And we hope you can join us for our next All-Stars at Home program featuring the dazzling pianist Soyeon Kate Lee, which will be right here on YouTube on Tuesday, April 13th at 8 p.m. And don't forget, all of our videos are free of charge and will live on YouTube after they air, so you can return to them to watch as many times as you would like. Thank you so much for watching.